Now we'll explore the functions as well as input-outputs of each one of these functional divisions, and we'll begin with the vestibulocerebellum. Functions first. This functional division will maintain our posture as well as modulate or control our vestibular reflexes. The input is going to be via the vestibular nerve, and so the vestibular apparatus is activated. This stimulates the vestibular nerve, and then its input is to the vestigial nucleus of the cerebellum. Output then from the vestigial nucleus is going to be via the cerebellovestibular tract. This will then connect to the vestibular nucleus, and then as a result, the vestibulospinal tract is activated, and so you have control then of the muscles that are going to help maintain your posture. And so this then will activate the lower motor neurons at the appropriate levels of the spinal cord. The spinocerebellum, we'll look at its functions as well as input-outputs. Functions of the spinocerebellum include integrating sensory input with motor output, and this will help with the adaptive coordination of muscle movement. The input, as the name implies, is via the spinocerebellar tract. And so from the spinal cord to the interposed nucleus, that cerebellar nucleus, you'll be utilizing this ascending tract, the spinocerebellar tract. Synapses will take place in the interposed nucleus. And then as a result, we'll have outputs to the reticular formation, shown in the green box, as well as the red nucleus. And then descending spinal cord pathways from these two structures will be activated. And those would be the reticulospinal and rubrospinal tracts. And then that will stimulate lower motor neurons at the appropriate levels of the spinal cord to coordinate muscle movement. The third and final functional division is the Pontocerebellum. Its functions as well as input-outputs. For functions, we have timing and planning of movements. This is the area of the cerebellum that's involved in cognition. And the input is going to be from the pontine nuclei to the dentate nucleus. And this will utilize the pontocerebellar tract. Here we see output to the thalamic nuclei, specifically the ventral anterior and ventral lateral thalamic nuclei. From here, signals will be transmitted to the motor cortex, and upper motor neurons will be activated, stimulated. And then once those are stimulated, the axons from the upper motor neurons would travel down the corticospinal tract within the spinal cord to then excite lower motor neurons at the appropriate spinal levels.